All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 92. Today on the show, Jason Aldean is in some hot water for no reason. We're going to tell you what happened there. Then the non-binaries continue to spiral in this week's Cringe of the Week. Then after that, I'm going to tell you guys how to avoid shark attacks this summer. And last but not least, these girls will make you lose all hope in dating. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 92, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Radboy. All right, 1 for 1 on the intro, as always. Guys, this week's episode is brought to you by our friends over at My Patriot Supply. I have a question for you. Why is everyone buying emergency food kits all of a sudden? I'll tell you why. Because when crisis strikes, the grocery store shelves are empty within hours. And that means you're going to need a proper emergency food supply kit in case disaster strikes. And when you get it, you're going to breathe a sigh of relief. That's why you need to go to preparewithfleccas.com today and get as many 1-week emergency food supply kits as you need. These kits are great, the food tastes good, it lasts for a long time, and you get tons and tons of calories, 2,000 calories per day in every 1-week emergency supply kit. My Patriot Supply has over 1 million happy customers, and when you go to preparewithfleccas.com today and get your 1-week emergency food kit, you'll also get it loaded in this ammo can. Very cool giveaway. Don't skip this special. When you get your 1-week emergency supply kits, you'll also get $30 off. $30 of savings this week only. Preparewithfleccas.com is the website. Go there today. Now let's get into housekeeping. All right. Thank you to My Patriot Supply. It's always good to have emergency food, Richard.
Yeah,
it's very important. Imagine having it, or imagine needing it, not having it.
I know. And that's why you pack it on.
That's why I'm carrying the extra weight for when I have my own emergency supply kits. All right. We have a very important housekeeping. We only have 2 pages of housekeeping, but it's some of my favorite housekeeping maybe we've ever done. As always, we don't do doppels anymore, but if we did, I guess these would be them. Me as an Abercrombie model.
Yep. Jean shorts, gut flowing.
That doesn't even look like me, and doppels are getting stupid.
Okay. What about this other one you sent me? This is me, I assume.
Yeah. So this is a person who is trying to meet like probably a 14-year-old for sex.
Drove 30 hours to meet a 13-year-old, bro.
Yeah, I knew this was coming.
You knew it was coming?
Yeah, I knew this.
Yeah, that's good. A lot of Richard
30 hours.
A lot of Richard Radboy types trying to meet teenagers.
Not good.
Not
and
good.
I still haven't co-signed Sound of Freedom. So we don't know where I am.
That could be you. All right, moving on. Doppels are stupid. I don't even look like that guy. Let's get into some important stuff. Jen Psaki and David Hogg took a photo together. You know, this is one of the least impressive pictures I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know, like something's going on here. I don't know what it is exactly. It's in this range right here, the legs shoe combo.
Yeah.
Something ain't right. We'll leave it at that. Something ain't right.
I called those jeans the 22 by 30 jeans. Like the waist size is like that you can't even find it at the kids store.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of the big and tall. And then Jen's got like a mommy outfit on.
She's got like a nurse shirt.
Yeah, I don't get it.
That's a shirt nurses wear while they're working. And then
I'm sure a lot of people tuned in for the show too. On Jen Psaki's show. Crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So this is just zero swag all around. David Hogg looking like that guy from the Lorax and shit.
Yeah.
Zero swag. All right, moving on. We have to keep moving. We have a great housekeeping today. Richard Radboy, you got mad at me yesterday because I said worms while we were eating sushi.
Yeah, I think that's equivalent to saying, I didn't know you were going to bring this up.
Yeah.
But I said it yesterday. It's like, he was like, we ordered sushi. He's checking for worms and he's saying worms. And I'm like, all right, dude, that's like saying bomb on an airplane. You can't like right before I'm about to eat a raw fish, say worms.
But I would argue that is the time because you're eating the raw fish and you have to avoid the worms.
Okay.
So it's like the perfect time to bring up worms. And I searched all the pieces. I did not find any.
All right.
But in New Orleans, that's where you would find worms in your food. Do you agree with that?
Fair, yeah.
That's a fair point.
It's all fair. I just don't want to be thinking about it while I'm eating the nigiri.
All right, moving on. Derek Chauvin, he is appealing his murder charge to the Supreme Court. What's the headline?
Derek Chauvin will take the appeal of his state murder conviction to the Supreme Court after Minnesota's top court denied the request to hear his petition. So Supreme Court's obviously the last and final leg for him.
Yeah, and show watchers know what's going to happen here. We've been talking about this, I think, for years at this point.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you run through it again?
Yeah, I think he's going to get let off, rightfully so. The facts and the evidence from the case and the death of George Floyd are in his favor. Mm-hmm. So he's going to get rightfully let off, probably in 2024, right before the election, just like George Floyd happened in 2020, right before the election. Shit's going to pop off. BLM's going to go crazy. There's going to be civil unrest, racial unrest, all this bad stuff happening, all these protests, all these burnings and all that stuff. And then who's going to come out of the woodwork and say, oh, I can fix this. I can unite everyone based on race? Michelle Obama. So we've been saying that for like years at this point.
Read the tea leaves. They're out there. The signs are out there. But
and then Roger Stone the other day said Michelle Obama's going to run in 24. You heard it here first. Love Roger Stone. But you heard it here first. We've been saying that for like over a year. Yeah. This is just what's going to happen. Yeah. All right, moving on. Don't forget to juice this post, tickle the algorithm, juice the algo, tickle the post.
We had a great release Tuesday, too.
We had a great Tuesday release, mostly because of you guys commenting. So leave a comment. Make sure you like the video. And then last but not least, make sure your notifications are on. So every time we do something, it tells you.
Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah, smart.
All right, we have some action. Everyone's talking about this week. Jason Aldean's song is now being called racist, and then he shot it at a place where someone was lynched years ago in Tennessee. They're calling that racist too.
Of course.
Let's go over the lyrics real quick.
Yeah, so the lyrics are sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a I don't even know. Carjack an old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, well, act a fool if you like, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough, try that in a small town.
So that is racist because I guess people are attributing all those negative actions to a certain group of people.
Which, to be fair, I agreed with the progressives on this one. It really is only that. So you didn't think I was going to say that, did you?
Well, after BLM 2020...
That is who does that.
That's who did all that stuff. Stomping the flag, spitting in the cop's face.
Carjack an old lady at a red light. Show me one white video. Show me one.
Pull a gun on the liquor store owner. That happens like every 16 seconds.
I know.
A liquor store gets knocked up.
Done.
So we had some people replying. One of our favorites, Rob Smith, he replied to it. And this is what he had to say.
Trash take?
We'll get to that.
Okay. So the Try That in a Small Town video was filmed at a site notorious for a lynching, and Jason Aldean, director, etc., weren't aware. Come on, man. I'm not a race-baiting leftist, but I am also not fucking stupid.
All right, Rob. That's also where they shot the Hannah Montana movie.
Exactly.
So,
and it's like, you go to a random town in Tennessee, it's like, okay, the shooting location, the woods? No. The main big courthouse that's been there for years?
With the stairs and the huge pillars?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's like, are we pretending that Jason Aldean, like a top 5 country artist, mainstream, hundreds of millions of streams, probably billions of streams?
Yeah.
Are we pretending that he needs to do like dog whistle, tongue-in-cheek racist comments so the good old boys in the woods stream his song?
Yeah.
Like, is that what we're saying is happening here? And it's like with the whole thing with the lynching, it's like, is the town now irredeemably racist forever? You can't do anything in the town. We live in New Orleans, where the largest lynching ever happened, and it was Italian people. And I don't go in the French Quarter and go, hey, you're taking a picture? What are you celebrating, the lynching?
That's my people.
People move on. A city's a city. So
yeah, and then also, I know lynching, right? You hear that phrase, lynching. There was a lynching. It means someone got hanged, right? Mm-hmm. Someone was hung. And, you know, there's kind of like this whitewashing or whatever you want to call it, where the left says like every lynching was just like a mob of white people who were mad for no reason and wanted to lynch a black person. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like what they're doing. Do you want to go into this at all, the story of the lynching, or no?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the lynching was this guy named, I think, something Choate, Henry Choate. And basically, earlier that day, Choate had been accused of assaulting Sarah Harlan, a 16-year-old white girl, as she waited for a school bus on a remote stretch of road 5 miles from Columbia. Choate denied he was the attacker. The assailant reportedly nearly tore away Harlan's clothing and attempted to shoot her. She screamed. The attacker struck her on the forehead with the butt of a pistol and apparently attempted to strangle the teen, one of 9 children raised by a widow. Sarah scratched her assailant and bit his finger, drawing blood. The assailant fled when she told him her brother was approaching, a ruse. Now I guess you'll get it, Harlan said. Then, eventually, using bloodhounds named Queen and George, a law enforcement posse went to the house of Choate's grandfather, where they arrested Henry. According to the officers, Choate had changed from his bloody shirt and trousers and hidden a .22 caliber pistol, which they alleged he used to club Sarah. Sheriff Luther Wiley said Choate had a wound on the middle finger of his left hand, a bite mark inflicted by the victim. Whether any of this is true, well, we may never know.
So it wasn't just, oh, there's a black guy here, let's go get him, and we're an angry, racist town. There was an accusation. And whether it was true or not, there was an accusation. There was injuries consistent with the story of the girl.
It was 1927.
The guy was on the run.
A crime took place. Evidence looked pretty good. Did he deserve a trial? Obviously.
Of course.
Was he killed by the town posse?
Yes.
As an out-of-towner? Yes. It's not like something like we're gonna go get a black guy today.
Yeah.
It was like our town is under threat, and then a mob formed and something crazy happened. It got out of control, right? Mm-hmm. But to pretend like as if any lynching in the past was like 0% justified or had no, like it was all wrongful. That's kind of like the way the left presents it. Mm-hmm. And I guess Rob's involved in that as well.
Yeah, Rob missed this one. And then Candace had a reply to Rob that kind of, I don't want to say put him in his place, but Candace's reply summed it up nicely.
Candace said, Columbia, Tennessee is a wonderful small town that I spend time in. The building is iconic. They have filmed many movies in that square, including the Hannah Montana movie where Hannah walks outside of that courthouse. Jason and his wife are wonderful people.
Yeah. So Candace has the correct take. The town doesn't have to be defined by its worst moment in history. And then that worst moment in history, not everyone even fully knows what happened.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of nuance here, a lot of things. Rob, we need better takes from you or we're going to stop sponsoring you here on the show.
Thin ice.
You're on thin ice, Rob. We had a song about that time you rode your Vespa to a business meeting in Miami Beach, and then you got torrential rain downpoured on. We're going to play the source clip from where it came from. Here's Rob talking about it.
I just took my Vespa, my scooter, to a business lunch in Miami Beach and got caught in a torrential downpour.
And here's the song. We're only going to play a little clip of it because Rob's on his worst behavior.
You are despicable.
Rolling up to a business meet, hop on my Vespa, cruise Miami Beach. Clouds rolling in, I never saw it coming. Drip drop, no top, downpour drumming. It's torrential, it's torrential, it's torrential. My people is so presidential. It's torrential, it's torrential, it's torrential. My people is so presidential. Raw.
Cool. All right, that's enough Rob stuff.
There you have it. Yeah.
There you have it. Rob had a bad take. We forgive you, Rob. We love you, Rob. Ceviche Tennis, Cabana, Miami. We love you. Moving on, we're still in housekeeping. Ice Spice, she had a music video.
Yeah.
And no one's complaining about this. Here's her music video. They're shooting it in the background here. And she's moving her butt, and she's bending over. The whole town's watching. She's shaking her shit. No one gets mad about that. All right, moving on. Serious question. Remember that time I opted out of getting my apartment sprayed because the people spraying for bugs, I thought we were going to be planting bugs, and if I said yes, I'd be consenting to the deep state planting bugs to listen to everything I do?
Yeah, I remember.
So I opted out of the bug spraying, and they came around for round 2, and I opted out again, and now I'm wondering, and tell me what you think here. Follow my train of thought. If I'm opting out of bug spray and then the rest of my building is getting bug sprayed, does that mean that the bugs are going to flee to my unit because there's no bug spray and then that's the only refuge in the whole building? Am I going to attract all the building's bugs now?
I think it depends on if your neighbors opted in or out, because then there's like a wall of death surrounding you. So that's the kind of the intel you need, I think.
Okay.
To make the final decision.
I'm feeling better about it then.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. The other day we had a stuffed crust DiGiorno pizza. Guess how much cheese is in the crust of the stuffed crust DiGiorno pizza.
What unit of cheese am I guessing
Just
here?
that's
a pound of cheese? Is that what they say?
2.5 feet. That's what it said on the box. 2.5 feet of cheese. I don't even know what that exactly means.
I guess it's a circumference reading. I don't know.
But it's 2.5 feet. But it's like, how thin's the thing? Like, you could make it probably 5 feet if you rolled it thinner. It could be 10 feet.
Yeah.
But 2.5 feet of cheese in the DiGiorno. We don't eat shit like that, by the way.
Yeah, that was rare.
We had one bite, no big deal. We had a couple tastes. We just needed a taste. All right, moving on. There was a shark at the beach. We have a clip of that.
Play it.
Yeah, let it rip. So all these people are at the beach, and this thing is in like 3 feet of water.
Yeah.
Just cruising.
In between people and the beach.
Yeah. So pause real quick.
Okay.
So you guys are probably wondering, what do I do if this happens to me?
I
And
was.
You come to the right place. First things first, you're going to want to get out of there as fast as possible. Just thrash your way out. Sharks, like other animals, are scared of like big, scary things. So you're going to want to slam the water, start splashing the water, look as big as possible, go like this, start yelling, huge sounds, scare this thing off. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say act wounded. Act wounded and like you can't swim.
Yeah, pick a scab and start dunking in the water. I'm just kidding. Obviously, this thing's playing here. I think we can kind of reevaluate sharks entirely here. We should be less scared. This thing is going in between people. There's plenty of kids and adults to bite and eat, and it's not doing any of that. It's flailing. It's going in circles. Doesn't bite anybody. No need to be scared of sharks. We are now changing the rating of the ocean. We're knocking it down, and it is now labeled not scary.
Okay.
So we are not scared of the ocean.
I think near a beach, not scary. Out near an oil rig or something where, it gets really deep and dark. That's still scary in my rating book. You can make an assessment on that later.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you're in the ocean, you see a shark right there, and you're right on the beach, and no one gets attacked. You don't have to even get out of the water.
Yeah, that's pretty good odds.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, moving on. This week's episode as well is brought to you by FleccasTalks.com. Guys, we just shot a fun mailbag Q&A, which we're doing, our second one ever. It's probably like an hour long. It comes out on Sunday. And we also have Bonus Land dropping simultaneously with this episode on FleccasTalks.com. So if you love the show and want an extra 30 minutes right now and an extra hour-long mailbag on Sunday, FleccasTalks.com is the site. Join us today. Join the, thousands, hundreds of people. It's a nice group on FleccasTalks.com. Join us over there. It's a lot of fun, really good bonus content that you can't get anywhere else. All right, moving on. We're into Cringe. That was kind of a fast housekeeping.
Nice. Are we doing the tiki boat thing or no?
Oh, yeah, the tiki boat thing. That was close. Yeah. All right, we have another thing to get named. We tried to name those cheetahs last week, and then they blocked me.
They blocked Fleccas. They deleted hundreds of snarf comments, which is like, they might as well put a disclaimer, like, disclaimer, if anybody spams us, we're going to delete it and then not count those.
Yeah, pick what you want to name the cheetahs, but you can't name it snarf.
Basically is the subtext there, so that was fucked.
How does that work?
Blocked you.
And people don't realize when they have contests, like naming contests, you have to do it in a certain way where it's like, we'll pick the best name. When you say, we'll pick the most popular comment, that's where we thrive.
That's where the blocks start and where we were supposed to thrive.
Yeah.
But we didn't this
time.
So
we lost that one. They blocked me, and I think the Lincoln Zoo or whatever hates Fleccas Talks.
Yeah.
But we have a new opportunity. This tiki boat, I think there's 2 tiki boats.
Yeah, our newest tiki boat needs a name. Winner receives a tiki tour for 16 on Lake George. How to win.
Want that.
Follow and like our page. Comment on this post with your creative and fun tiki boat name.
All right, guys. That's linked in the description. Snarf, or the Rob Smith floating cabana.
Ooh.
All right, no snarf. Rob Smith's floating cabana is the name of this. Let's get there. Name it. It's in the description. Let's win one. And if we win one and we get rewarded that 16-person St. George tiki boat cruise, I'm gonna give it to one of the people who named it.
Yeah.
I'm giving that shit away. All right, we are out of housekeeping and we are into Cringe of the Week. Our first clip of Cringe is the feet pics girl.
All right, let's see what she's up to.
You guys a couple?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's one thing you dislike about each other?
I
hate that she sells feet pics.
I've literally made so much money. I bought this Prada bag, and I bought him a MacBook last week.
Holy. Where do you sell your feet pics?
Fun with feet.
What's one thing that you dislike about him then?
That he doesn't make as much money as me.
She's right about that. Wow.
Wow. So that's like a red flag in my mind.
Of course.
Your girlfriend's selling feet pics and buying luxury goods, buying a Prada bag, you probably didn't pick the best one. And she's obviously a money over everything person, so it's like you kind of lose
This is like a college couple too.
Yeah.
And so it's like you don't really need to be making money. Dad's probably paying, you know.
No one really makes money in college.
Yeah.
So
you stay afloat, right?
Yeah, exactly. So she's selling her feet pics, anything for money. She's basically une prostituée, as they say in French.
It's obviously the least version of prostitute, but it still is on the spectrum. And you're selling pictures that disgusting guys are jerking off to.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's not like, oh, I sell feet pics. It's like, okay, what's on the other end of that transaction? Let's examine that for a sec.
Sorry for the vulgarity, but that's what's going on here. And then she's mad at her boyfriend for having no one pay him to jerk off to his picture.
Yeah, there's not a market for women jerking off to this guy.
So that's what she's mad about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically once you put money as the thing you value most, you'll put that'll be your like idol, and then you'll sell your soul to get that. So there'll always be an opportunity. Oh, if I do this, I sell this. Oh, this one guy wants me to do that. And then the next thing you know,
go a little farther.
You have 100K. Wow. But then you also lost your values.
Lost your values. Yeah. Oh, such a cute story. Mommy used to sell feet pics.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like it's just
when you're
like
a grandparent.
A dark piece of your personal history, and for what? The $2,500 Prada bag.
Yeah, exactly.
I would, you know, obviously we have our opinions. I'd respect it more if she goes, yeah, I've been dumping it into NVIDIA, this stock, you know, and it's over $1 trillion market cap now or something. You know, if there was something really tangible to show for it, it would make it a little less bad. But,
yeah.
And then just, you know, it's obviously an issue for this guy. Like,
yeah, how did you and Grandpa meet in college? Oh, well, you know, we used to fight about her selling feet pics.
Yeah.
You know, like, is that the story you're going to tell your grandkids?
Yeah. So, again, it's a weird shame thing. And, yeah, no market for men to make money. She complains about him making money on her doing the softest version of prostitution is crazy to me.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm sure it'll only get worse.
Yeah.
Because then it'll be feet, and then it'll be, oh, here's my full body, and then without my face, and then here's me fully naked, and then, oh, I'm going to have sex with this guy on camera, and then now you're a prostitute.
Yep.
Again. All right.
Slopes are slippery on everything, right,
Exactly.
guys? You know?
That's the theme here. It's a slippery slope no matter what you do, as long as it's something bad. All right. The inappropriate brunch.
Speaking of
your girlfriend doing bad stuff.
All right. She goes to brunch.
What the fuck brunch is this?
She's pulling her hair.
And he's just shoving a banana down her throat, and now he's feeding her grapes, and she's licking his finger. Yeah, that's how you eat a banana. You feed a banana like and that's good because the waiter's hot. Are you gonna like fuck the waiter?
Is that what's going on?
Is that what's happening at this brunch? You're gonna, but don't forget, low IQ people are very like they're overly sexual.
Okay.
So like they like the overly sexual stuff. That's like a low IQ trait.
Okay.
You're kind of out of control. You can't control that part of your brain.
I don't get how doing a raw banana down here with like me 2 inches from your face. I don't. What's the appeal? What's
you didn't even bite it.
I don't know what's going on. So feet pick girls, banana slut brunch. Does this woman have a boyfriend? She's letting this guy, this waiter.
I'll go to brunch with my friends. Like, oh, fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna play video. I'm gonna play video games. I'll see you when you get home.
You see the video is. So man, all right. I'm sensing a theme here, though.
Yeah, and it gets. I don't know if it gets worse, but it continues to be bad.
Okay.
The next girl, how she gets free drinks.
You need to look for a guy who looks like they have a super big ego. The bigger the ego, the better, and the easier that this is probably going to be. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to go up to him, you're going to approach him, you're going to be like, hey, like, what are you drinking tonight? Like, what are you about to order? He's going to tell you. So let's say he's like, oh, I'm about to order a tequila soda. You can either be like, oh, I love tequila sodas. Or you can be like, oh, I was going to order a vodka cran. I would love to buy your drink. Can I buy you a drink? Like I said, the ego is a big factor in this. 99% of the time, they are going to look at you and they're going to be like, what? No. What? Like, let me buy you a drink, the
Wow. You know how to work a bar. What? What a lovely skill. You know how to work a bar and trick guys so you can drink alcohol for free.
She's like a pool hall hustler. She's like, okay, so here's how to find a mark. It's all the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. You find a guy with a big ego, and then you bluff and you offer to pay, and then he'll come over the top and pay, and now you tricked him into a free $11 drink.
Yeah.
Oh, now you can drink alcohol for free with, nice.
So what's going on? What's going on with these women?
I don't know. I feel bad for this person.
If
I met her and she was trying to do this hustle, I'd go, hey, how about I just buy you a drink? You don't have to even talk to me.
I feel sorry
I'll
for you.
I'll just buy you a drink.
It's $10.
It's all good. You don't have to even talk to me. I've actually done that before in New York when I would like go out. It was sometimes if someone stayed next to me, I'd buy him a drink and then I would just let him have it and then walk away. And then it's actually a better move.
That's a good move. Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you just have it. All right, see ya. And they're like, you're not expecting a conversation?
It's just a freebie.
No.
Fun one.
I just feel like I'm wasting the bartender's time if my tab's $10.
Yeah, but man, I just think it's like this pool hall hustler mentality. It's like she's chewing on a toothpick and then sees a group of 3 guys, looks at it, and she goes, bingo. Yeah.
Here they come with a cigarette behind her ear.
So what a bad way to live, And then guys, if you're one of these guys at the bar who might be on the other end of this, it's like some girls out there, not all, but some girls have a 4-step plan to get you to buy them a drink. So just watch out.
Yeah. So if a girl offers to buy, just go, oh, that's nice of you.
Thank
sure.
you. Call the bluff.
Thank you very much.
She puts down her debit card with $38 on it. She's handing it to the guy like this.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on. Jeopardy.
Yeah.
So Jeopardy released, I don't know who did this, New York Post released this story of the hottest contestant ever.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Hottest contestant ever on Jeopardy. Angie Nyquist reveals X-rated fan requests. And I'm guessing this woman's like on a winning streak because Jeopardy usually does PR to drum up things when people are on a win streak or to get viewers. Like Ken Jennings goes for 15th in a row,
Yeah, exactly. And they call her the hottest, and that's, we're not gonna. It would be a low class thing for this show if we were to say she's not hot. All these people are hotter than her. We're not gonna do that and like talk about someone's looks. But they kind of threw her in the fire a little bit by saying hottest contestant, because you do that online. Now everyone online is going to either be saying, yeah, she's so hot, here's all this disgusting stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
Or they're going to say, she's not hot, she looks like blah, 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 or she looks like whatever, and they're going to be rude to her. So they're kind of like involving her in a conversation she probably doesn't want to be involved in.
Yeah, this poor woman is sent into the wood chipper of degeneracy of the internet, Just like, no, she's not hot. Yeah, she is. And it's like, do you want, like, you're on Jeopardy winning with your mind. Do you want the conversation to be hotness on the internet from people who are just like porn addicted? Like, no, like trolls. So, I thought whoever did this, whoever made this PR package and sent it out to the New York Post and whatever, really put her on a path to get massacred.
Yeah, exactly. It's not very considerate. And also, keep in mind, TV I consider to be just like a leftist progressive tool for propaganda, right? Mm-hmm. So if you look at it from that perspective, who should the hottest person in Jeopardy history be? It's easy.
Yeah.
Amy Schneider.
Should be Amy.
Man's arm tattoo, Amy Schneider. That's who the hottest person on Jeopardy is.
Look at that tattoo.
Look at her.
Yeah.
She's my favorite.
Beauty and brains. Well, actually, she might not be labeled the hottest, but she would win Miss Jeopardy.
Yeah, that's
Amy,
a good point. Amy Schneider. We love her. She's like the more palatable Rachel Levine.
Yeah, they're similar.
Yeah, they're similar. They're cut from the same cloth.
They're late in life trans, so it's really just like putting on a dress and
growing your stringy hair out.
Exactly.
All right, moving on. The butter art.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see what art looks like these days. Pause real quick. So that guy kneeling, watching, he's actually worse than the butter artist.
Yeah.
Because she's just being a Muppet and, she's a moron, whatever. That guy watching.
She's low IQ. She's dumb. She's a shock value.
She's hitting butter with a string.
Yeah.
What do you? She's nothing. But the guy watching on his knees as if he's seeing the unveiling of the Michelangelo or something.
Yeah.
What's it called? The
Sistine Chapel?
Yeah. The statue, David.
Oh, yeah.
By Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelangelo also did the Sistine Chapel, right?
Yeah. That's what art used to be. Now it's this. And then like people are probably watching like, what's it all mean? Like, what is this? What's this symbolizing? What does it mean? And it's like, oh, it's nothing. It's just a non-binary art school kid who chain smokes cigarettes and has stinky armpits and a buzzed head.
Yeah. She bought 10 pounds of butter from the store.
Yeah. They is a moron. That's what it is. She doesn't even know what gender she is.
Yeah, there's zero depth to this butter experiment.
It doesn't have to mean anything. No. All right, let's go to the back on estrogen guy.
Yeah, all right.
Taking my HRT in the CVS parking lot because I haven't had estrogen in like a month. Woman moment! Down the fucking hatch. I'm so excited to be back on estrogen. This is so fucking fun.
Isn't that exactly how a guy would explain this?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're back on estrogen. It's like, oh, we're back on estrogen, bro. Down the fucking hatch. Let's go. Like, that's what a guy does.
That's like you've just sunk a cup in beer pong. And you're like, let's fucking go, bro. Down the hatch. Like,
let's go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's not really realized. That's why they needed the estrogen, probably.
Oh, 100%.
They knocked that out of them.
And thems reveal themselves, you know? It's just like, nah, that's a guy. I know that behavior. I've seen it before. Down the hatch, show the Adam's apple. Mm-hmm. All right, go live your pretend life.
That's why this part of the show is the non-binary spiraling. Mm-hmm. And our next one, the NB non-binary girl. This is one of our faves.
I'm non-binary, and this is why I use this abbreviation and not this one. ENBY, or NB, is actually a phonetic pronunciation of NB for non-binary. So then why don't I just use NB? Because NB originated from the Black community to mean non-Black. It predates the term non-binary. Because I'm white and because the Black community has asked us not to use it. So I'm going to listen and respect that. It's
the
that
Black
simple.
community has asked.
Yeah, the memo goes out on like a Bloomberg terminal. Like, hello, they, thems, like new alert.
Yeah, NB equals non-Black now. Starting
Cease
now.
and desist.
Any other NBs no longer. And then this person is non-binary, and I'm telling you, this person is non-binary just so every person she meets, she has leverage on them, and she can correct them. So they go, hey, how you doing, miss? And it's like, oh, I'm actually non-binary. She just wants that
so
leverage.
You're on your heels immediately.
Exactly.
Like, whoa.
She wants to automatically correct anyone that comes her way and tries to talk to her. She wants the leverage and to be talking down and correcting someone and educating someone. Yeah. So that's why she's non-binary.
I'm non-binary. That's why I talk like a girl, have a nose ring like a girl, earrings like a girl, hair like a girl. I wear a halter top or whatever this thing is.
Yeah.
I'm 100% a girl, but I'm non-binary because I want that handshake. I want my hand to be on top of yours when we shake hands.
Yeah, and you're not progressive enough and you're wrong for calling me a girl, even though that's exactly what I look like. So we basically need a 5150 that person.
Yeah. And it's also like, oh, I say NB now instead of NB. And it's the same thing. And it's one fake thing that got usurped by another fake thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's like a tower of cards that's like destined to fall down because nothing matters. And they're doing their own hierarchies just based on oppression, as we've seen with everything, basically.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that thing we made up, turns out someone else made something else up
sooner,
slightly before ours. So our made up thing is actually voided. Moving on.
I love the idea of like a little terminal, like a little Bloomberg, like a message goes out
and
everybody...
tickers come across the bottom.
Yeah.
All right, last piece of cringe, the literal non-binary Muppet person.
Hi, everyone. I'm Leslie, and my pronouns are they, them. And I'm Ray. My pronouns are also they, them.
Pause real quick. We can see your mouth moving.
She's not even ventriloquisting.
You're not even trying. You're just going like this, and you're doing two at once. We can see your mouth moving. This is poor ventriloquism.
Yeah.
This is a poor presentation of whatever you're trying to accomplish. Keep it going.
All right.
What are we celebrating this week, Ray? It is Non-Binary Awareness Week. And what does that mean? Well, that means if you don't feel like a boy in your heart, or a girl in your heart, or if you feel like neither.
Pause it real quick. We're done with this. But she could have moved the thing in front, like, so the shoulder of the Muppet is covering her mouth if she's not good enough to hide it like Jeff Dunham does.
Yeah. I don't think she's thinking. She's not much of a thinker. She's a repeater. She'll repeat the phrases, but she doesn't, there's no creativity
She's
there.
barely in charge of that Muppet.
She's losing control of the Muppet.
It's 50-50. They both share the same amount of brain power. Yeah. And then there was a meme that went around of like, this is who you're arguing with when you're arguing online sometimes. Don't forget.
Yeah.
We
met Sisyphus.
Yeah, exactly. He says the problem with the internet is you can spend 20 minutes arguing with someone who actually looks like this. What does it say? This just isn't someone you'd pay attention to normally.
Yeah.
So in real life, a lot of times when you're fighting online, these are people you'd see at the coffee shop and go, "Oh, you're a joke."
You'd avoid them completely.
Yeah, you have a mask on, bagel cream cheese.
Yeah.
Let me know when I can leave.
I have nothing to talk to you about, and yet here I am arguing on the computer.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're out of cringe.
Friendly reminder for you guys who might be into the comment wars or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of a waste of time a lot.
It really is. All right, we are into Urban Decay. We have a really, I don't want to say strong Urban Decay, but it's something.
Okay.
Scratch the Coochie Girl. This is kind of a vulgar episode, guys, so I apologize if you're a parent or an older watcher who doesn't usually hear us covering these disgusting things.
Hey, it's an evil world we live in, right? It's a dark and ugly thing, and we're going to cover some of these coochie scratchers. All right, let it rip.
I'm trying to get my coochie scratched. I'm trying to get my coochie stretched and eat a nigga ass. Eat a nigga ass. We be eating niggas ass today in London. Period, baby. I'm trying to get this coochie stretched. Okay.
And everyone wants to fight racism, That's so important.
Yeah.
Racism's so bad. But then you have clips like that. That doesn't help.
It
doesn't make it easy.
It's kind of like, can I defend this even?
Yeah.
If I'm an anti-racist handbook.
And what that person's doing is like they're attention seeking. But people, who like attention too much, they'll try to get attention for positive reasons. But then there's some people who have their brains wired like a kid, like a child, and they'll just try to get attention by any means necessary, even if it's negative attention.
Yeah.
And that's what she's doing.
It's like a little kid who knocks over a pot to get their mom to like look at them.
Yeah. And that's what like a 5-year-old would do.
Yeah.
But that's what she's doing, and she's an adult, and she's still doing that same low emotional intelligence, like getting attention, causing a scene, even though it's for something disgusting that makes you look bad, you just want the attention.
Yeah.
And it's kind of similar to the person in our next clip, the kid dunking the basketball. He just wrecks the thing. And you can tell by the way he's exiting and he's like going like this, he's flailing. It's like that. It's like the Twitch TikTok energy where you're almost doing like a thumbnail face where you're like trying to get out.
It's like the Looney Tunes run where it's a cloud of dust and your legs are pumping before,
So it's the same thing. That's literal a kid. That's literally a kid, trying to get attention for negative behavior. And some people will say, "Oh, that's just kids being kids."
Yeah, exactly.
Not me.
That might be. Did you ever do that?
No, I never did that shit. Oh, it's kids being kids. I never did shit like that. Not even close.
Here's the thing. When it comes to kids being kids, right? It's like, oh, yeah, these kids, they knocked over my mailbox. Oh, these kids, they stole a gnome from my garden. Even kids being kids, you're trying not to get caught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
like in high school, we used to smash mailboxes as a joke sometimes, and that was like in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
And we would run and hide and be scared.
And so this is like, it'd be like, oh my God, what did I just do? But this kid, this daytime, like in front of a carnival employee thing.
On camera.
Yeah, it gets a little darker when it's like that.
Broad daylight in front of everybody on camera, hoping it goes viral on the internet. It's not like he's going viral because we caught you, we filmed it.
Yeah.
You released this.
It's no fear, no respect, not even the thought of getting in serious trouble for destroying like a carnival thing meant for 6-year-olds. And you're 14 or 15, you know?
Yeah, and you wrecked it. These are the types of kids that'll be shooting people in a couple years.
Yeah, and this kid will be yelling about getting his coochie or his ass ate. He's the other end of the spectrum, right?
Yeah, he's looking for the girl.
Who wants their coochie scratched? Yeah.
That's the call.
So we'll see him in 10 years in London, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
And I'll still avoid him then,
Exactly. All right, let's move on to the split the check people. There was a fight over an expensive $4,600 dinner for someone's birthday.
Hey, so I see that video went really viral. The bill was like $4,600. That's why I didn't want to split it. This was a very expensive restaurant. Look, they're even giving hot towels. So I'm finna show y'all the whole video so you can see what actually happened.
Bro, I'm tired of this. It's her birthday.
Like, it's my fucking birthday. Why the fuck should I have to pay for something on my birthday?
But, but what I'm saying is, why would I pay for something I didn't buy? I'm only paying for what's on the check. I'm not splitting the bill, shawty. That's crazy. You expect us to split the bill? You got lamb chop. You got steak. You got some other. Look at all that. Look at what all they got. They talking about splitting the bill. What did you come out for? We come together, we split the bill. My thing is, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing way too much. We didn't order all that, but when I'm saying this, I'm not paying for that. That is dead, baby.
So we get what happened. It's a 5K dinner.
Girls ran it up.
The
Birthday girl ran it way up.
Had all her friends there, and then she's mad that she's gonna maybe have to pay. Well, first of all, if you're doing a 5K dinner and then you're gonna argue over splitting the bill, you're not ready for a 5K dinner.
Pretty much.
You need someone to daddy boy you.
Yeah, you need someone to be in charge who's willing to take a hit,
And you know ahead of time.
or you're not ready.
Yeah.
And these people, what would you say the age is? 26 to 30, something
Yeah.
like that. These people should know better, right?
Yeah. And have you recently gone out to a 5K dinner?
No,
I've not been out to a 5K dinner in like maybe ever.
I actually don't believe in like 10 to 12 people dinners. I
Yeah.
think they're a nightmare. And I know they happen sometimes, big families, big stuff like that. But it's not really my style because you can only talk to maybe 3 people.
Yeah. And then
Right.
that bill comes. And
And the
it's
bill
ugly.
comes, and it gets
so
greasy.
Basically, what we have here is people trying to do a classy thing, go to a nice expensive dinner, but you have no class.
So it devolves into a yelling thing like, we came together, we gonna do it together.
And then once you hear people start, shouting the same thing, like, I ain't splitting the bill. I ain't splitting the bill. Then this is going to be the thing. And then it's going to be a smash. And
The
then
tablecloth comes out.
someone runs out.
My thing is if you start hearing that yelling in the nice restaurant, that's when you quietly back away from the table. You contact the waiter in private. You say, hey, I'd like to pay for my portion. This is what I had. I know that's a burden on you, but people are yelling in the restaurant, and I'm not associated with the yelling in the restaurant crew.
Yeah, that's a key is I'm never associated with the yelling in the restaurant crew. Yelling in a restaurant or just yelling in general is one way to have me never hang out with you again.
Yeah.
Richard Rapboy can attest to that.
I yelled in a restaurant once. I was on timeout. No, I'm kidding.
Richard
It
Rapboy
never
can
happened.
attest. Like if we hang out with new people or different people in our friend groups, and like a new person comes around and they're yelling and obnoxious, like he'll look at me sometimes, and I'll look at him, and it's like this person's never coming around again.
Yeah,
that's the absolute last time. All right, moving on. Herman Grimm. So there was a test in New York for teachers, right?
Yeah.
And it disproportionately resulted in the failing of the test by people of color.
Blacks and Latinos are the ones who were affected.
So too many blacks and Latinos failed a test, and because of that, they sued. And now New York is paying out $1.8 billion of taxpayer funds to all these people.
To roughly 5,200 black and Hispanic ex-Big Apple teachers and once aspiring educators who didn't pass the test that they needed to.
Yeah. So everyone will say, oh, white privilege, white privilege. If I fail a test, I don't get hired as a teacher. If this black person fails a test, they sue and they get every dollar they would have made in a 40-year career paid up front at once, as well as the value of a 401k they would have had.
The pension,
The pension all at once. And this guy got $2 million plus health insurance. $2 million awarded to this guy, and then paid out to 5,200 other people. $1.8 billion in taxpayer funds.
Yeah, and this speaks for itself, right? I did a little research into it. It was a liberal judge who had decided this insufferable-looking white woman, $1.8 billion of taxpayer money in a city that like desperately needs money going to people who failed a test. I looked up one of the test questions. It was like 3/4 is best represented in a numerical value, and it's like between 0.6 and 0.8. And like, it was just like a fraction question.
It wasn't even hard math.
Wasn't even hard. Just like how big is 3/4 of something? And then all these people who just failed a test, my main issue is like, how do you prove that a test is biased without like it actually having some question that only white people would know?
Yeah.
Because I think if a black person had taken this test and passed, then that means it's not biased at all.
Yeah.
So like that interpretation of whether or not something was biased was basically left up to this liberal judge. And now New York City taxpayers are lighting $1.8 billion on fire.
Yeah. When you're shopping for SPF 50 and
Exactly.
it costs $10,
Yeah.
but it's 20% off. And it's like, I don't know about suntan lotion. That's not fair.
I've never shopped for SPF 50.
You just take it.
Do we want to play the video of this guy getting interviewed in his home where his smoke alarm won't stop chirping?
Yep.
Or no?
Let me intro it real quick. This is the guy who got $2 million. He's the guy who failed, one of the guys who failed the test. And as he's talking to the camera, his smoke alarm, the chirping sound for when your battery's out of your smoke alarm, it goes off 3 times. So that's the kind of people we're dealing with.
They knew I wasn't taking them serious.
One.
Because I just wasn't taking them serious. You know, why would you send me letters and tell me about lawsuit? Because I know lawsuit either they go through or they won't go through. You know, from reading, hearing news and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I know a couple of people that had, well, not in education, but they went through lawsuits and they didn't win or anything like that. Mm. So to me, it's just like fabric. You know, either, you know, but it's when I
another chirp. So that's who gets the money. It's the guy who doesn't even replace the battery in a smoke alarm.
He's not smart enough to do that. He just gets accustomed to the sound, and not a very articulate or smart sounding guy. That interview was pretty lackluster. Either the lawsuit goes through or it doesn't go through. And I should have been a teacher, and so I need $2 million. It's very, very blackpilling to see this, that there are judgments based on skin color. We have no recourse. I fail a test. I failed that test.
Yeah.
There's nothing to fall back on. But apparently for some other people, there's things you can fall back on.
And you know,
Racism.
exactly. It's always going to be racism is the reason. And you know how the government can't really do too much climate change stuff because it would be government overreach. So instead, they're going through corporations and doing the ESG stuff.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like backdooring through getting what they want accomplished through huge corporations that are almost just as powerful, if not more powerful than the government.
Yep.
So they're doing that. I think that's the same for reparations. And what we're going to see is like reparations is going to be tough to officially just give everyone a check for a certain amount of money. But
every court case, tie goes to the runner.
Exactly.
And the runner is the racism black guy. Right?
Every court case where something like this happens and it's somewhat race related, it's going to go automatically to the person of color and it's going to be a full payout, whatever they want. And it's just going to be a backdoor way of doing reparations is how I see it.
It's getting sad. It's getting ugly. Like I'm going to pay taxes at the end of this year, and just write a check, and I'll buy a half of a bomb for Ukraine. I'll pay for some black guy who failed a test. I'll pay out his shit, and then it'll be like, all right, and then you have $3 left for the roads.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, okay, the roads that are from 1971, the bridge.
Yeah, and my parents will say, "Oh, you ever gonna move back to New York? Why? Gotta give $2 million to that guy." Not gonna do it.
I'm out.
All right, moving on. We're still in Urban Decay. The guy who pulls the bus on the gun driver.
Yeah, you got that wording right.
It was around 11:15 in the morning when passenger Omari Tobias asked the driver, David Fullard, if he could get off the bus in between
I want to get off.
stops
I want to get off.
near
I want to
the
get off.
Creek Premium Outlet Mall. When Fullard said no, things got tense. A few minutes later, Tobias can be seen pulling out a gun and walking towards Fullard. That's when Fullard pulls out his own gun. Both start shooting. As shots ring out, 2 other passengers can be seen running to the back of the bus, both ducking for cover by the rear doors. Fullard then stops the bus and gets out of his seat to talk to Tobias.
So they keep going and they keep shooting, and that's it. I'm actually fine with how this played out.
I love it. I was saying, I think maybe last week, we need more bodies on the floor. Mm-hmm. We need people to get shot and learn the lesson, like the really hard way. I'm tired of paying court fees and stuff. Like, if this guy is willing to pull out a gun because the bus driver won't stop between stops, so this guy can save maybe, 5 minutes on a walk? If that's gun worthy, you might need to just go to sleep on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
forever.
Exactly.
I don't know, because I can't imagine you do normal grocery shopping after that?
Yeah.
Do you help the old lady across the street shovel her driveway?
What happens when someone bumps into you by accident on the subway?
Yeah. What happens when something worse than not stopping the bus?
What are you doing at self-checkout? Are you just kind of taking stuff, one for me, one for you type of thing?
Yeah.
How much are you tipping this person? How much is this person tipping?
Yeah.
Probably none. So, yeah, he had to pull a gun out because the bus driver wouldn't let him break the rules and get off in between stops. So that was gun time for him.
Yeah. And that bus driver, if he was white, there would have been a racial bias, sensitivity training,
Yeah.
maybe 2 upwards of 3 millions would get paid out. But thankfully, he looked like he was black. So.
But maybe he was trying to get off to find some coochie to scratch. He's trying to scratch. I'm trying to scratch some coochie.
Duh.
Trying to scratch some coochie.
I'm so dumb. That's the funny part is there's an absolute yin to her yang. There's someone who's looking to scratch a coochie.
All right, moving on. Last clip of Urban Decay. Walgreens is closing.
You know, play this video or?
Yeah, so Walgreens, there's a headline that says Walgreens is closing 5 stores.
Walgreens closing 5 more San Francisco stores over shoplifting fears. Is this old though? Because I feel like we've used this headline before, the 5.
Maybe, but I just wanted to show the Walgreens is literally chaining up their frozen food section with chains and locks that like you buy at Home Depot.
Like a bike lock. And
just anyone...
And the caption on this Twitter post for the person who initially reported it was like all their pizzas and ice cream get hit like twice a night. Twice a night. All the pizzas and ice cream. So it's like frozen goods. So people out there are doing shopping just without shopping.
Yeah.
They just go and they get the stuff.
You get what you want and you leave.
And then you leave and nobody stops you.
Don't you hate waiting online?
So the whole thing is locked up. The whole store is locked up. And like, that's why people are just going to go to Costco. There's going to be like membership only stores coming up where you can openly just discriminate. You know what I mean?
Keeps the riffraff out if you have membership only.
Riffraff can't pay $80 a year.
That's smart. Costco. Hey, what do you buy? Costco options?
Yeah, we can buy.
Is it publicly traded?
Oh, COST, baby. Yeah, of course it is. But it's had quite a run.
Financial advice.
It's had quite a run though.
But that's where everyone's going to get all their food now.
Yeah,
because they're not going to have any billions of dollars a year in lost, stolen goods or whatever.
Yeah, and I can't imagine going and doing like a full shopping cart at a place like this, and then like what? You need 1 employee per person to unlock like 8 things. So it's obviously not sustainable. They're stuck in a hard place, and you know what they're going to do? They're just going to leave the city.
Yeah.
They're just going to leave. So, oh no, food desert.
What happened?
What happened? We can't get fresh fruit. Yeah, everybody stole. The whole fucking thing is over, guys. Like, don't you get it?
And then you need the one, like, there's got to be one worker for every customer to, like, walk you through so you don't steal.
Of course.
And then I'm sure everyone's noticed, which has been talked about lately a lot, how the quality of service just in general has gone down.
Yeah.
So you have, like, one shitty worker who doesn't even want to be there, who's not, like, working fast and efficiently. And that's just not going to be an experience people want. There was a funny meme that Medic Sisyphus posted. Make sure you guys are following him. He's tagged in the description. He's one of our favorite Twitter accounts.
Yeah, he helped us for this episode a little bit too.
Yeah, he's a really smart guy who just had a baby, so congrats. It says, Walgreens, San Francisco, after shoplifters rob the store 20 times a day. And then some guy replies, maybe if poverty wasn't a thing, people wouldn't need to steal so much. And then his response to that was the Goodwill Hunting picture, and it says a Goodwill Hunting scene, but instead of "it's not your fault," he tells the progressive, "criminals aren't Aladdin," until he gets it. So the criminals aren't Aladdin. It's not Aladdin where it's like, oh, I'm just a good guy who just needs an apple, and I'm hungry, and my family's hungry, and I take care of people. I'm like Robin Hood. It's just it's not the same Robin Hood.
I'm on fentanyl, and I desperately need Oreos. That's like what they're up to. Or like, I'm going to resell all of this.
Yeah, I'm going to steal $400 worth of frozen pizzas.
Resell it for $50.
$50 probably to get more. So it's not Robin Hood, it's robbing in the hood.
Yeah.
All right, that's
No one's ever made that pun before. Congratulations.
I didn't even write that down. I just thought about it. Wow. Moving on. Don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. We are moving on to uplifting gold. We have actually... Probably my favorite part of the show is in uplifting gold. Are you ready? The baseball steal. So the guy throws to the girl, but then the dad catches and gives to the kid. Is that right or wrong?
It's a little greasy, but you know, that girl is what, 15, 16, something? I don't know.
Yeah. So
kind of whoever gets it.
As long as a kid gets it. Have you ever caught a baseball at a baseball game?
Yes.
Just say no. Have you ever caught a baseball at a baseball game?
No, never.
So we don't know what we would do in that situation.
It's handed down to a kid. It's as long as it gets to a kid, it's like, yeah, the guy probably meant to throw it to the girl, but I don't know.
I've never caught a ball.
I've never
gotten close.
Okay.
So, I could pretend, I would let the girl have it, but if it's getting thrown right to me and I could pretend not to see her, I might just grab it. And then when she's right here, I'll just grab it and then turn this way and be like, I got it.
Yeah, here
Let
you go,
her
Johnny.
Yeah, try the next one.
Oh, it's an evil world out there, right? That dad wants his son to have a baseball game from the baseball game.
Yeah, exactly.
The girl, you're kind of on your fucking own.
Yeah, where's your dad? Let your dad come box out that dad.
So I don't know. This is like one of those things. Do you see the penguin or the man in the suit? Could go either way.
I think as long as the kid gets it, it's uplifting. And that's why it's an uplifting gold. All right, moving on. All right, next clip is the Michael Jackson tennis guy. This is my favorite part of the whole show. He's good. You like this?
Yeah, a little bit. I like that he's creative.
Who's your favorite Michael Jackson impersonator? I'm more of a Gus Jackson guy myself.
I don't know. Can't name one. Never seen.
Are you a Ken Olaf guy?
No. Don't know who that is.
Okay, well, for everyone who doesn't know, in the Michael Jackson impersonator world, people with entertaining talents, is that what we call them? Pets, P-E-Ts?
Yeah.
I have two pets. One is Gus Jackson, who's here. He's got the face paint, turns into Michael Jackson. He's doing all the dancing, very cool. And Kent Olaf. Kent Olaf is the other guy who's kind of his competition. And they compete against each other. Here's Kent Olaf doing his thing. He's teaching kids how to moonwalk. These are the kind of people I follow on Instagram. And then I kind of pit them against each other. So I'll comment sometimes on Kent Olaf will post him like doing the thing. And I'll comment like sending this to Gus.
That's hilarious.
And I try to get him to do shout outs for the show and they don't reply to me.
Bummer.
But I do say a lot of times that Gus is the best in the biz. And I'll repost whatever he does. And I'll be like, great work by Gus. It's fun to me. I like to participate.
You're on your own missions out there.
I like to participate.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next, the kid with the wombat. Not a bear. I thought this was a bear.
Come on, Reggie.
Reggie the wombat.
You been out all night.
Straya.
Come on, it's time for Reggie's bottle. On your couch.
On your couch.
Pick him up.
And he knows what to do.
Take your dummy out. That's for bedtime. Take your dummy out. No, don't give it to Reggie. Put it on the floor. Good girl.
Put it on the floor where the wombat walked. No one cares about germs. That's the way to do it.
Look at this. Feeds him a bottle. Reggie likes it.
Do you love him? Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
What a nice experience. It's uplifting.
That's great.
You're feeding a wombat.
Kindness to animals. Early lesson.
Yeah. No one's saying, I'm going to put it in the microwave. Put this thing in this, not even knowing it's a wombat. Put this thing in the microwave.
See if it can swim.
Shoot it with a paintball gun.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done as a kid, maybe. I had a thing where
older kid, maybe.
Me and my boys, we would, I didn't even tell the story, but yeah, me and Bennick's cousin, Vitali, we would leave some trash out sometimes, and the raccoons would come, and then we would shoot them with the paintball gun. It was pretty fun.
Did you light any small fires as well, or pee the bed, perhaps?
No.
Any other serial killer signs?
That was the only sketchy thing. And it doesn't kill him; it just surprises him, and then it's just like,
and it hurts,
and it shoots, and he runs off, and then you're with the boys, and you're like, oh, I got him, I lit him up. There was one time I was going, and then it started shooting blanks, and I was like cornered, and the thing was coming at me, and then Vitali was like, boom, 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 and lit him up, and he jumped off the patio or whatever. So I was like getting cornered by the raccoon after I'd already shot it. He was coming for revenge, and then Vitali saved me.
Yeah. That's good, man. That's how you get an audience on your side. Yeah. Admissions of animal cruelty on the podcast.
Hey, it wasn't cruel. It was paintball guns. It doesn't hurt.
For sure.
But that's good American spirit mischief behavior.
Yeah.
All right, really quick, the dog who brings the hose in the house.
This has the song that I hate.
So there's no audio.
Imagine that Oh No song that is so played
Oh
out.
no, oh no, no. We'll just sing it. Oh no, 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 no. So these little dogs, here's the security camera.
Here's the scene of the crime.
They brought an active hose in through the doggy door and then just filled the house with water. That's bad.
It's something you wouldn't even think of.
Yeah.
So.
And imagine you're the neighbor who like you thought you were filling your pool. And you're like, where's my hose? And you see it from your house going into the neighbor's front door. And it's like, oh, no. Yeah. Filled the whole house. All right, last one, last clip.
You'd shoot that dog with a paintball gun.
If he was trying to bring a hose into my house.
Okay. Fair.
All right, last one. The dad reading to the kid.
He couldn't dodge in and out of the trees like he used to. That's how the devil does. He gets you out there. He makes you think it looks good, and then when you get there, you realize how stupid it was, and unfortunately, you can't go back from some of the decisions that you made. So, be who God called you to be, okay? And the language as the spirit give utterance. They're whispering spells in your ear, okay? We protect you and cover you from that right now. And we bind up everything that would try to whisper spells in your ear. It will not prosper.
Isn't that nice?
He's inserting his own spin on it.
And he keeps, that way there's no spells, there's no weakness. It's just you're protected by Jesus.
No demons.
No demons allowed to take over that kid. That's going to be a good kid.
Yeah.
The parents are laughing. They're nice Christian people. That's great. That's why it's uplifting. And that's why it's the clip we're ending the episode on.
Smart.
That is our last clip. Thank you guys for watching. Another Fleccas Talks in the books. This week's business that we're supporting is the Local Tap in Lansdale, PA. They hosted Moms for Liberty, and some of the locals got mad and lit them up on Yelp.
Yeah, they said they're taking some major flack right now for hosting the Moms for Liberty in our area. Their Yelp reviews are getting swamped, and they could use any help they can get.
That's where we come in. They are linked in the description. Leave reviews, leave Yelp reviews. Local Tap in Lansdale, PA. 5 stars, great place, great atmosphere, great service, great prices. Had a great time with all my friends there. We had no problem splitting the bill. It was nothing like that. So make sure you guys support them. They supported Moms for Liberty, and they're catching some flack for it.
Yeah.
Another Fleccas Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleccasTalks.com. If you want more episode, we have 30 minutes of bonus land that's out now, and we also have a Q&A coming out on Sunday. Hang out with us over on FleccasTalks.com. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you Tuesday.